Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
Mayor Craig Thurmond, welcome back into the Man Cave Studios. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you doing, Clay?
Well, I'm always excited when you come in and visit us in the studio here, and I know that a lot of people in Broken Arrow look forward to these chats, these conversations that we have. And I thought today we could do two things. One, you could introduce us to your friend and the Vice Mayor of Broken Arrow. And then two, we could talk about what it's like to be the Vice Mayor and the Mayor of Broken Arrow. Kind of a day in the life of, because a lot of people want to know, what is it that you guys actually do? You know, people are thinking about casting their votes to reelect you guys, and they're going, what do these people actually do? I think we can all agree we love the fruit of your efforts. We've seen Broken Arrow has done very well in these past few years under your leadership, which is great. But I think a lot of people want to know, what do you do on a daily basis? So, Mayor Craig, I'll let you introduce your friend and the Vice Mayor to our audience.
Well, Scott Eudey is the Vice Mayor, and Scott's a great guy. He has a law firm here in town, and just does a lot for our community and has for many years.
So, Scott, first off, a first controversial question. How do you spell your last name? Because somebody out there wants to look you up right now as they're listening.
Sure. Eudey.
And you're an attorney, correct?
Yes, sir.
So how did you first get involved in local politics?
Well, I was involved in the business community for years. I was involved in the chamber. I was chairman of the board of the chamber, doing all that wonderful stuff, and was chaired Rooster Days in Broken Arrow for 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
And so the next logical thing was, hey, how can I serve? And this was a way to do it.
So what has, I guess, compelled you to get involved with local politics? I think a lot of people out there can express contentment or discontentment with the local politics of a given region or an area. But what made you, Scott, decide to put your personal time aside and to get involved with local politics?
Sure. Well, Broken Arrow is a very conservative city. It's a place that understands the values of God and country, if you will, and that's who I am too. And I had been serving in the business community for a very long time, and I just felt like it was an opportunity to go to the next level. And frankly, servant leadership, that's the whole thing. We're supposed to lead by serving, right?
So what, did you get paid as a vice mayor?
No. In fact, I get just slightly more than the rest of them, which is 2% of more than zero, which is zero.
Zero?
Yeah, zero.
If you round that up, that's a very low number.
It's a very low number.
Okay,
right.
So you're doing this for $0
Yes.
a year. Again, what would compel you to invest the time, the energy? Why are you doing this?
Well, I mean, the trite answer is I love my city, and I think there's so much that we can do to make this city even better than it is, and there's so much that we need to do to keep the city from ever going backwards, if you know what I mean. To make sure that we are continually moving forward in a positive direction. You see the growth, the economic development, the low crime, all of that takes steady, consistent leadership. And I believe that that's something I've been able to add to over the last 6 years. Certainly something Craig's added to over the last 19 years. And it's something that I think it's important to continue going and moving forward, and that means keeping good, consistent leadership.
I think a lot of people would be very interested in what a day in the life of a vice mayor and or mayor looks like. And I know for you it might seem like maybe a routine thing. It might seem exciting. It might not. But I think, what does a day look like for you there, Scott, as the vice mayor?
Well, probably a lot like the mayor's, except he's a lot busier. Most of my day is spent at my day job, being a lawyer. I do handle a lot of calls from constituents, from people who live in the city, mostly emails though. A lot of emails come through for us to address, and regular communication with the city manager and the various department heads, especially if a constituent or a citizen has an issue. But that's pretty much it, is addressing needs as they arise. And it's the nuts and bolts stuff. I mean, at the state level, you're dealing with, and the federal level, you're dealing with taxes, you're dealing with defense issues and all that. At the city level, you're dealing with trash. streets,
potholes.
You're dealing with police and fire and making sure that you're funding all that.
Neighbor, we're sure the neighbor's growing weed. We need to report him.
Well,
right? I mean, there's always those kind of things, right?
That's what we're concerned with at the local level. We're not concerned. I mean, we are in the broad sense concerned with all of the important things, but we're concerned with making sure your trash gets picked up. We're concerned with making sure that when you flush the toilet, it goes out and not in, that sort of thing.
Now, as a business owner, I could say my bias that I bring to everything I do is I believe we have certain unalienable rights that were given to us by God, and governments are instituted amongst men to uphold those rights. That's kind of how I look at everything. So as a business owner, everything I do, I'm thinking, if God were watching, because I believe he is, would he approve of this? Right. So Elephant in the Room, one of our Broken Arrow-based businesses, people will ask, hey, at Elephant in the Room, do you provide that service? Do you provide this service? Can I have this day off? Can I have that day off? Can I work overtime? All these different questions happen, and I'm always going through the filter of what would Christ do? And I try to do the best job possible, but that's kind of my filter that I run everything through. So you say, well, how does that apply to someone's schedule? Well, if somebody wants to take a day off and it's going to really ruin the plans of somebody else who'd already made the plans, I think, okay, what would God do? How would he handle this situation? If I find a customer was stealing something from me, how would God handle it? I try to run it through that, everything through that filter. What would Jesus do? What would God do? What would God do? What would Jesus do? Did Jesus run a hair salon? No. But you're always going through that. What is your filter? How do you make decisions as the vice mayor? What is your filter? What are maybe certain principles that you believe in?
Well, the Bible says anyone who lacks wisdom, let him ask. And so I'm constantly seeking wisdom. And I think that's a good filter. It's a good filter to run it through because the Bible basically has outlined all the principles one needs to live by on a daily basis. So if you're constantly studying the Word and you're looking at everything through that prism, even your wrong decision, even the wrong decisions, if you're trying to make them in a godly way, you're going to end up making the right decision. That wasn't worded well, but
no, this is important though. So people, when they say, okay, I have a pothole that I want to get addressed, or someone calls and says, hey, I think my neighbor is growing weed in their living room. I can't prove it, but I'm sure you get those kind of things though. I mean, again, how do you make those kind of decisions? How do you handle that? Potholes, people reporting each other for potential crimes. Sure. How do you handle that?
Well, first off, is there truly a statute or ordinance that addresses their concern? I mean,
Got it.
A lot of people get a lot of concerned about things that the government has no business participating in.
Got it.
I'm a classical conservative, which means I believe the government has a purpose, much like you said. It's to protect rights.
Yeah.
But and to provide a defense, and i.e. police and fire. But it doesn't have a right to be involved in every aspect of your everyday world.
And it's interesting how if you were to I just encourage everybody out there, think about this. If you were mayor today in this year of 2020, think about all the issues. In this year of 2021, all of the issues. You have actual people in America right now demanding to defund the police.
Right.
Now, it is a small percentage, thankfully, but it is a loud percentage.
Right.
It's a loud, small but loud, vocal, but loud percentage. And you guys, when we vote for you, we get out there and we cast our vote, what we're doing is we're saying, and I don't know that everybody out there, I don't know that everybody out there would agree with me, but this is how I would encourage everybody to cast your vote. Figure out the principles of the people you're voting for.
Right. That's very important.
Personality, in my opinion, is second importance, if it even factors in at all. But the first thing I care about is the principles of the person.
Right.
I really do care about the principles of the person. I care about that the most. Maybe then I care about the political party.
Right.
Then the personality. But we are in such a bizarre culture where we have complete ignoramuses that we listen to because they're famous, because they're good at singing, because they're good at dancing, because they have a beautiful face, because they have a symmetrical smile, because they've had a lot of cosmetic work done. And we have a culture so I'm just trying to tell everybody out there, in Mayor Craig Thurmond and in you, Scott, and I know Mayor Craig Thurmond more than I know you, you have guys that love the Lord and who believe in the Constitution. Mayor Craig, am I speaking correctly there?
That's correct, and I'm glad that you put things in the order you put them in, because for one, we run nonpartisan, so it doesn't matter what party we're in, but our beliefs do matter, and personality doesn't matter, because I'm glad, because I don't have a marketing personality. Usually, a lot of people that win these elections have a marketing personality, but they don't have substance behind it. So it's important that you believe a certain thing, that you believe in our Constitution, that you believe in the Bible, and you believe in what I believe. That's very important, and I think all principles go from there.
In the longevity of sustaining that idea, this is a big idea for somebody out there. Just throwing it out there. This isn't your personal story. This is mine. I mean this. I am relatively new to Christ, me personally. I've been a libertarian as a through line throughout my whole life. So if you ever look at the things I get involved in and I care about, it's always going to be government, get out of my way. That's going to always be the through line with me. And what I see is a lot of people that their through line, their history is that of something very different from which they speak about. So what happens is, if you're not careful, you watch the commercial, you look at the sign, and you say, oh, wow, this person wants to build back Broken Arrow better. And you go, that's 4 Bs. Build back Broken Arrow better. Kind of sounds fun.
Must be good. It's
must
4.
be good.
Yeah.
I'm going to change it up a little bit.
Right.
And oh, look, it's a young gal. Look, it's a young guy. Look, a little younger, a little fresher, little somebody. He's like 35. He's 40. Oh, wow. Oh, this is new. New's good, right? We start to learn little phrases like, you got to freshen it up. We go new. But I would just say, and I'd like to get your guys' a final take on this. I look at the history of Broken Arrow. Downtown Broken Arrow was full of tumbleweeds, vacant buildings. That's what downtown Broken Arrow was. I see you guys get in office. I see the Rose District go from a conversation people have been having for 30 years into reality. I see the Bass Pro Shop go from a conversation into reality. I see the city of Broken Arrow's tax dollars, the actual tax dollars in, not theoretical dollars, very different, not the projected dollars, the actual dollars into the Broken Arrow economy are growing. I see a thriving downtown. I see fruit. That's what I see. That's what I see.
Right, and we've done a lot to make things thrive, and I think it's very important that your community does thrive, because if you stand still, you're going backwards.
So let's talk about this then. So final word here. For somebody out there, we try to stay very positive on this show. Right. We try not to mention another candidate and say, oh, this isn't a good person. Let me tell you this. I believe we're all children of God, and I believe you have to, when you vote first based off of the principles of the person. The second, you look at that political party. I know it's a nonpartisan election, but the third is you go personality. So final word there, Mayor Craig. Why do you believe everybody should vote for you to be reelected as Broken Arrow's mayor during the year 2021?
Well, I think a lot of it is knowledge and experience, and I know it's not personality. So, but I don't have that outgoing personality. I have a get it done. I'm a get it done type of person. So I just try to get things done, and we've shown that in our works that we have actually done. Not just what we say, but in our works and what we've done over the last many years, we have done what we said we were going to do, and I think it's important that you continue to do that. And I really think experience and the knowledge that we have, as I've said many times, it's not, when I go to a lot of these national meetings, it's not the things that people get done, it's the things that they back away from. That's what we learn, not to make those mistakes again. That's so important.
Now, Vice Mayor Scott, for people out there that aren't familiar with Mayor Craig Thurmond and not familiar with his background, some people are hearing this for the first time.
Sure.
If you had a final plug for Mayor Craig Thurmond, or maybe an endorsement or a reason why you think everybody in Broken Arrow should cast their vote to re-elect Mayor Craig Thurmond here in 2021, what would that be?
Craig is a man of integrity, and I've learned this because I've worked next to him for the last 6 years.
6 years?
I knew him before, but the last 6 years I've come to see a man of integrity.
Yep.
And his heart is just to get things done for Broken Arrow, and he really does have great visions. A lot of times he and I will be talking, and he says, well, I'm thinking about this and this and this, and it's like, man, I didn't think of that. It's really impressive. He's constantly thinking of ways to benefit Broken Arrow. And I mean, to me, that's the point. We serve. We want to make our community better, and that's where his heart is, and he's got a proven record of doing it.
Mayor Craig Thurmond, if people want to learn more about you, what is your website, and then when does everybody need to get out there and actually vote for you to be reelected as Broken Arrow's mayor?
It's mayorcraigthurmond.com is the website.
mayorcraigthurmond.com.
And the city council election is April 6th.
Oh.
2021.
Coming up soon.
Yes,
Very
coming
soon.
up soon.
Again, that website again is mayorcraigthurmond.com.
Yes.
And then the date to vote again is
April 6th, 2021.
Folks, I'm telling you what, Mayor Craig Thurmond has my vote. He's a great American, a man I've known for a long time. But I'll tell you this, backstory, I work with Shaw Homes. My job as a business consultant is to grow companies. And as you grow companies, you grow relationships with the people you work with. And I've had the honor to work with Shaw Homes for almost 5 years now. And we've had the opportunity to help Shaw Homes grow from a $24 million company to $150 million a year annual sales. And I have heard repeatedly from the founders of Shaw Homes, Chuck Ramsey and others, that you guys have been great to work with. So again, my endorsement, maybe my endorsement is like a reverse endorsement. Maybe it's like people go, I'm not going to vote for him if you're voting for him. No, but I mean, people that are very respected in this community, like Chuck Ramsey with Shaw Homes, who's been in business for 5+ decades, has great things to say about you guys. So keep it up. I appreciate what you're doing for Broken Arrow, and I know that this is going to be a great year, 2021, for Broken Arrow. And again, thank you guys for lending your time and for joining us here inside the Man Cave Thrive Time Show studios. And if it's okay, we'll end the show with a boom. Here we go. 3,